Hello, guess what I'm wearing? My name is Josie. First off, if we haven't met before, I make videos all about my crafty endeavors. Recently, it's mostly been about knitting. Usually is, because it is my greatest love. But I'm also cross-stitching something, which is fun. But this I just finished. This is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. This is probably the most impressive thing that I've ever knit. Not that it was a super difficult knit, but just that it like looks like wow. Like wow. It looks wow. I'm gonna give you many angles so let me bring you down. I pushed you farther away. Let me bring you down a little bit. So yes, these are like lower waist shorts, but it hits like just below my natural waist, which I like. So I ended up doing, let me get my phone. Okay, I went and got my phone because that's where like all of my notes are and like on Ravelry. Okay, so the pattern calls for US 4 knitting needles. I went up to US 5. I have knit a fingering weight t-shirt before, and I really liked the feel of it on US 5. And so I just went up a needle size because my gauge was a little bit smaller anyway. So I did US 5 for the color work and for the body. And then my ribbing size was US 4. I went down to US 4. And then I did 0.8 inches on the hem, for the hem, instead of, she calls for a 0.5. So I wanted it a little bit longer, which I'm really glad it does not like flare out or like flip up. So I did that, and then I did an Italian bind off on the hem. And then for the sleeves, you saw a little bit of my dilemma last time where I wanted them to be, I just really wanted them to not take away from the color work, but I also, how I had done it just didn't work out. I did not like the look of it. So I ended up just matching, I did 0.8 inches of ribbing on the sleeves. So I just matched it with the hem, and I really like the look of it. I think it's very flattering. I've already worn it once to a date night that my husband and I had. We went and saw a symphony, which was just really fun. But I am just so happy with it. I mean, it's just beautiful. Let me show you where I messed up. In all of this color work, I only messed up once. And like that was really, I was really happy with that. I was so happy with that. It was a beast. And definitely the most color work I've ever done. It's very highly talked about in the knitting community to not use superwash yarn for color work, but I love it. Superwash is my favorite yarn to knit with. Superwash fingering, I should say. At least in this season of life, it's my favorite. And I think it looks stunning. I just think it looks really stunning. I'll show you a little bit of the back too. But yes, the one spot I messed up, it's right here on the front. It's right there. See, it should be like a straight line for the leaf. Straight line. And then I accidentally put a stitch there, and it should be right there to make that straight line. But what's nice about the contrast color being so variegated is you can't really tell. It just kind of blends in because it's so like, it's not really variegated, but it's like speckly, and there's like different colors. There's like some dark areas and some blues, little specks of blues. I can't see it in the viewfinder, but so yeah, I am so thrilled with it. So thrilled. When I blocked it and it came off the blocking mat and I tried it on, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna have to fix this. This like fits. It fits. I was thrilled. So thrilled. Okay. So now that this is done, this was a big goal of mine to knit this sweater for 2026. And I have 2 other sweaters that I really want your opinion on. But I think I want to get more comfortable first because I'm just standing. So let's get more comfortable. So yes, my big goal, well, I have several big like sweater goals for this year. One was this one, which I'm thrilled with. Another one was to knit with the Peru yarn that my in-laws picked me up in Peru. It's 100% alpaca from their Peruvian alpacas. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, so soft. So there's that. And then the other one that is also a big goal of mine is to knit a sweater for my husband. My husband is being a little picky, if I'm honest. At first he said a Christmas sweater, but he wasn't liking any of the Christmas sweaters I was showing him. And then he thought, well, it would be nice to be able to wear it like all winter and maybe in the spring and fall on like cold days. So then he thought maybe not Christmas, and kind of thinking more of like a fisherman sweater, like oversized fisherman sweater. But he's just not loving any of the ones I'm showing him. He doesn't want anything with like a zip, and he doesn't want anything with like a folded, like a funky collar, unique collar. Just wants like a typical crew neck. And he wants it to be a little bit oversized. Yeah, so I'm having a little bit of trouble. And I wanted to ask for your advice. If you have found any, I'm gonna go to my favorites that I've recently saved. Okay, so he really likes the Oster pullover. I believe it's by Michelle Wang. I think it's a Brooklyn tweed pattern, but Michelle Wang. So he really likes this. That's worsted weight. He likes this one. This is a Sandisk yarn. It's number 7 Guernsey sweater. Unfortunately, there's not really good pics of this. It's just 2 photos, and you can't really see the whole sweater. And then, was that it? Okay, let me find the other one. And then he really likes the Albion, also by Brooklyn Tweed, I believe. Let me give you a closer up. So this one just kind of has like that texture in it. So he likes those, but he wants them to be oversized. I don't know how to knit can you just size up for a man's sweater to make it oversized? Like, I don't know. So yeah, if you have any patterns, he doesn't want anything like super cable-y, but also like the Moby sweater by Petite Knit was too busy for him. But he liked the Esther sweater man version by Petite Knit. So yeah, nothing too cable-y, nothing too busy, but just wants some kind of texture. Wants it to be oversized. He likes the idea of like a fisherman sweater that you can wear with anything. So we'd probably go either like a chocolate brown or a navy, something a little bit darker. You know, like a dark blue. If you have any pattern recommendations, please let me know. It feels a little bit overwhelming. In a good way. Like, I'm so thrilled to do it, but after I'm done with this pair of socks, like, I could knit another pair of socks, but I'm just like ready to knit my next sweater. And if he wants it to be for himself for this year, we need to get a move on. Okay, let me show you. Here's my periwinkle yarn, it totally looks purple in the viewfinder, but all dyed up and wound. And here are the ruffy. Here are the Midnight Dancer Ruffle Socks by Sari Nordlund. So I'm on the foot. I've done the heel. I did the butterfly heel by the Bakery Bears. This is the second time I'm trying this heel, and I really messed it up. I messed it up so bad. Yeah, you can totally see. You see how it's like wavy here? I picked up too many stitches. On this side, I didn't pick up enough stitches. I had to go back and and you can see them here. I think, yeah, you can see them. I had to go back and do like 4 German short rows in order to like have picked up all the stitches from the flap of the butterfly heel. I have no idea what happened. But I'm like, it's probably gonna be fine. I don't want to rip back a sock. So I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, I think the color is really pretty. And I have no idea where this is gonna like sit on my ankle. I'm hoping it covers like my whole ankle. Like will pop out of ankle boots, but who knows? I very well could not have, with like how much of stretches, I might have done it too short. But I think I'd still wear them even if they were short. I don't know. So this is my knitting project. So I'm trying to get my husband to pick a pattern so we can buy some yarn so I can knit on his soon. Thank you for all your lovely comments on this. Being excited to see it in person. It's just stunning. And I just love it so much. I wanted to pop back on and tell you the yarn. I forgot the yarn. I've knit this in like such a vlog style that I know I talked about it on like my earlier episodes, but I might not have talked about it since. And this took me like a good 2 months. So just in case it's like your first time here, or just so everyone can remember, it's definitely all the information is listed on the project page, which I'll link below. But this was knit out of Ash and Bumble, their merino, I believe it was 100% superwash merino yarn. I don't think it's a merino and nylon blend. But again, that is listed on the project page. And then I had 2 skeins of the green and 1 skein of the contrast color that was like kind of a pinky speckled. I did use 2 of the greens, even though they looked very similar. I did alternate them. And I did do helical knitting, which you could probably see in the video. It kind of messed up my tension. But then once I switched to like twisting it, once I realized it messed up my tension, and I switched to twisting it, which again you can see in like the past vlogs, I had much better time. So I know in the future not to do helical knitting for a garment. Did not work out in my favor, but even now, like after seeing it, watching back the video clips, I'm like still very happy with it, with the stockinette part. And it just looks, you can see it. I'm looking at it now. You can see it, but it doesn't look like an error. And that's like really all I want. So yes, I wanted to share that too. I forgot to mention the yarn on my earlier clip. And as I'm watching some YouTube videos and they're talking about yarn, it reminded me, I should have mentioned my yarn. So please let me know if you do have any other questions about this pattern and it's not like answered in any of the video clips or my project page. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Gloomy out today. It is so rainy. We went to the library and I just got soaked putting like the kids in the van, putting the stroller up. We just got soaked. But I got some fun books. I got some cross-stitch books just for the fun of it. I probably had like 20 books in my stroller that I went and looked through as the kids, then we went down to like the play area, the children's area. And so I was just like flipping through them really quickly as they were playing to see which ones that I didn't want. I wanted some knitting books and I wanted some cross-stitch books. Knitting books because I have been thinking about what I want to do with my Advent yarn and just wanted to think of any ideas or see any ideas. What I decided is I'm like pretty certain I want to use it for a blanket. I would love the idea of having a blanket for every member in our family. Because if I can't be with them, I love the idea of each one just having their own blanket. Yes, not going to get too morbid about it, but I love that idea of passing that on to them. So I think I want to use it for a blanket, but I need to start brainstorming. And then I also wanted to look up some cross-stitch patterns because I'm just so new to the world of cross-stitch. So I got this one, 50 Knitted Wraps and Shawls. There's the author if you want it. Oh, it's focusing on my face. I'm excited to look through that more. I breezed through it. And then Knitwear from Finland. I will talk about this book in a minute because I want your opinion on something. I think those are... Oh, and then Knitting Modular. These are mostly like shawls, but still I think I could learn like how to, if I wanted to design my own blanket or something. I don't know if I'll do that, but... And then I just got like a 100 cross-stitch patterns that I looked through and they were really cute. And then making gifts and counted cross-stitch. Because I just don't know what to turn cross-stitch into. So I looked through here and there were like lots of ideas. And then, okay, so what I want help in, let me get my yarn. I probably showed this to you a while ago when I got it. And I probably got this yarn, well, I don't know when they went to Peru. I think last September. So I probably got it around whenever they came to visit. I'm really having a hard time remembering. I don't know how long I've had this, but so this is Indicieta Indiacita DK 100% baby alpaca. It's a local Peruvian yarn. 100% luxurious baby alpaca. I mean, how exciting is that? And then this is my contrast yarn that they picked up for me, my in-laws did. And then this is the main color that they picked up for me. Again, Peruvian yarn. It says it's like spun by Michelle. So I think I have 3 or 4 of this one, of the contrast. And then maybe like 12 of these. They're 50 gram, 112 meters each. And that is the Peruvian yarn that is on my to-do list for this year, of like coming up with an idea. One idea I had was the pressed flowers cardigan. Yeah. By Amy Christoffers, I think is how you pronounce it. I've heard several different ways. And I would do the main color, like the gray that is in this, and the brown that I have, and the flowers in the white. I don't know if I have enough yarn for that, but it's just an idea. And then the other one, looking through this book. Okay, I saw this. I mean, that is pretty. I know I would not have enough yarn for like the whole thing. I don't even know what gauge this is, but something along those lines. Like very colorworky. The issue that I'm running into is I've never knit with 100% alpaca yarn all on its own, and I want this to be a project where it's the only yarn because it's just so luxurious. I don't want to hold it with anything. I want it to be a project all on its own. I would like it to be a garment, but again, I've never knit with alpaca all on its own, and I've heard, I should say, that alpaca doesn't hold its shape, and so I'm just really struggling with what to knit it with. I think it would be stunning in the pressed flowers cardigan. It's mosaic knitting all over, so I'm avoiding lace, again, because it doesn't hold its shape, so I could see it stretching out, like, easily. And I just don't know. Basically, I'm just asking for your advice. The ribbing on the pressed flowers cardigan could be an issue. Really, the ribbing on any cardigan or any sweater, for that matter, like, might be an issue. Any garment would probably have ribbing. I've heard like a tunic could be good, so I looked at some really long dresses that are just kind of shapeless. Something like a robe, even some kind of a robe, just like a wraparound robe. So yeah, if you have ever knit with 100% alpaca or know like tips and tricks to knit with it, please let me know, because I don't want to mess it up, quote unquote, because it's such nice yarn. Although I know if I mess it up, I can just take it out and redo it, use the yarn again, so it's not that big of a decision, but it feels big because it's so nice. So yeah, I love the idea of like an all over color work with it. But is alpaca good for colorwork yarn, like colorwork projects? I don't know. The only thing I know that I don't want to do with it is like a scarf. I could see doing a shawl, but I definitely prefer like a garment. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me show you the update on my socks. Where'd they go? Oh, they're over there. I probably have an inch left on my first sock. Wow, the lighting in this house because of the rainy weather is all messed up. Yeah, I probably have about an inch to go before the toe. This is one messed up sock. I mean, like you can see, let me see if you can see this. Like just how like wonky that is. It's so wonky. But I think it'll be fine when I wear it. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. I'm gonna crank this out and see if I can finish it. The cast on for this, so fiddly. It was like over 200 stitches, and then I think I'm pretty sure I twisted it like in the round when I was joining them. I think I accidentally twisted it. I'm trying to find my, so yeah, I don't know what I did, but it was so fiddly. But, and I was annoyed by it. But then I was thinking, well, it's just kind of like, it's the same amount of time that I would spend on like a 15 row 2x2 cuff. But instead it's just like 3 rows of knitting super long rows. So I think it'll be worth it. Yeah, let's see if I can get the second one cast on. Maybe not, but maybe I'll be finishing it. Maybe I'll be finishing it today. We are Survivor fans. I think I've talked about this. We haven't watched like every season. I watched it with my mom growing up. But since I like went to college over 10 years ago and I didn't have a TV, like I didn't watch it regularly. But my husband and I have been watching season 50 this year. And the season finale's tonight. So I'll probably get a lot of knitting time. I might do cross stitch because I have to update you on my cross stitch too, but I could see myself knitting a little bit easier while watching the show, the finale, than cross stitch. So if I could just get super close, if I could get onto the toe during this knitting time, during nap time, I think that would make me really happy. This is so much easier. The first sock I did like a 32 inch. I cast on 32 inches, but it wasn't enough. The stitch count wasn't enough to go all the way around 32, so it was too much for magic loop. So I had to do like a traveling loop, and it was just really cumbersome and really fiddly. This time I used my interchangeable like small circumference, and I put the 8-inch and 6-inch cords together, and then used like the bigger is it 3-inch tips. And now I can like knit in the round for the first few rounds before I do like rapid decrease to make the ruffle. It's so much easier. It was so easy to make sure I didn't accidentally twist the cast on. So easy. Good morning. It's Friday. I didn't film at all yesterday. I was dealing with a very big headache. So during rest time, I just took a nap. It's very early Friday morning, if I haven't said that. But yeah, I just took a nap. And then when my oldest son got out of rest time, I begged him to stay in bed with me so that I could sleep a little bit more. So I didn't really craft at all yesterday. I was planning on getting a clip of Survivor Wednesday night, but our YouTube TV stopped working. So we still haven't watched it. We still don't know who won. We're okay. We like Survivor, but it's not the end of the world if we get spoiled. We're trying not to see. Like, we're not going to go out and Google who won, but it's not the end of the world if it gets spoiled. But I wanted to film. I wanted to close out this vlog. I wanted to give you an update on my cross stitch, and I need to do it this morning because I've got to edit today. So here we go. It's going to say beach days, so I have one more letter, and then there'll be some like beach houses down here. Look at my little needle minder I bought for myself. It's from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It's so cute. Double-decker bus, says London. I've been having so much fun with this. This is my going to bed project. So I just put on an audiobook, currently Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I put on an audiobook and I just cross stitch a little bit before bed. Usually anywhere from like a half hour to 45 minutes. It's been so much fun. I adore it. Oh, there's a birdie outside. Okay, and then let me give you an update on my socks. So I finished the one sock. All done. It's very cute. The heel is very messed up, but it's still wearable. there's that. And this is where I am on the second one. I'm on the first decrease round. It's paid for pattern, so you know I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm on the first decrease round. You can see the ruffle starting to form. And yep, I got it go this much. There's probably no way for a ruffly sock to not be fiddly, if I'm honest. That's my guess. But yes, it is beautiful. I'm loving it. So yeah, I would love any thoughts you have on knitting alpaca yarn, 100% alpaca yarn garment. I would love any thoughts you have on a man's sweater. Any recommendations? Let me know if you have any beloved patterns, because my husband's been a little bit picky and I'm at a loss of what to do. And then yeah, I just don't know about the 100% alpaca yarn. So it looks like I might not be starting like a bigger project next vlog. I could see having another week of like a smaller project while I decide what to do next, because I'm confused on both of my next sweaters, and even my blanket. I'm a little bit like, what do I do about my blanket? Like my advent yarn. Because I really like DK weight, but then I think I have to hold it with something. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research too about my blanket yarn, so it might just be another pair of socks, which is okay. I love socks. I'm determined to not mess up on my butterfly heel the second time around, so I will definitely let you know if I succeed. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. I gotta make some breakfast before the boys wake up. There's a cute little bunny. I think I got a clip of it. He's just eating some grass. Thanks for joining me for this vlog. I'm having so much fun on these, filming and editing all my crafty hobbies. It is so much fun. So I'm glad that you are enjoying it too. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them from my crafty friends. And we will talk soon, hopefully next week. Have a good one. Bye.